Hey guys, Preeti here, and you've read the title of this video, you know what it's about, and I know it may seem weird, but I think it's a genuine problem when you want to read like a historical romance with an embarrassing cover, a new adult, a contemporary romance, and so many of them have embarrassing covers. And I don't mean embarrassing in a bad way, it just means that you can't really take it out in public without being judged by certain people. Like if I saw someone reading a NSFW book cover in public, I would just smile. Like, I would love it. Like, yay you for going out in the public and not being ashamed or embarrassed or anything. I'm not embarrassed to take them out in public. It's more just like, I don't want to be a thing that people look at because of my book. Also, I hate attention. So what inspired this video is that actually I recently checked out this book and this book, and actually I did use this method once before and then again recently with this book, so I've only used it twice before. Not because I don't read those genres with the embarrassing covers. No, I read them a ton. I love them. They're not even guilty pleasures, they're just pleasures. I read almost, okay, I definitely read YA more, but like all of these like surround it. Like I can't just read YA forever. When I'm not reading YA, I'm reading historical romance, contemporary romance, new adult romance. If it's not YA, it's definitely some type of romance, and all of them have embarrassing covers, but I love them. I love them so much. The first book that I actually used this with was in high school, and it was Silent in the Sanctuary by Deanna Raybourn. I was obsessed with the series when I first found out about it, once I started reading it. It is so good. I highly recommend it, and I love these covers. There are non-weird covers as well, but I prefer these. I don't know, they just give a certain quality to the book that I really appreciate. The covers are soft. The other covers aren't bad either, but this just makes me feel, I don't know, scandalous. And again, there's nothing wrong with the cover. There's a hand on a back. But you know, high schoolers, they can't handle this. So I used my method for this. Recently, again, like I said, I used it on this. This took a lot more of the method because it's a bigger cover. The only reason I actually checked this out was because never in my life, the entirety of my life, 19 years of existence, never ever have I seen a historical romance that is hardcover. That's right, this is hardcover. It blew my mind when I saw it. Like, I didn't even check it out the first time. My mind was blown, but I was like, do I really need this? Am I in the mood for this? The answer to both of those was no. But then I just had to go back to the library the next day, see if it was there, and if it was there, just check it out. If it was in the library, it would basically be fate telling me that I should check it out. And it was in the library, and I did check it out. Wasn't in the mood for it, read it anyways, did my thing, took it out in public. Spoiler alert, this is a bad book. I wouldn't recommend it. Unless, like, you know you're gonna love it, then of course, go for it. But I didn't like it. I wasn't in the mood for it also, but that's not why I didn't like it. But I will have a full review on that later in the future, but yeah. So I've got all these books with me today, and I'm only gonna use my method on one of them because I don't want to waste paper. I don't know if you see where I'm going with this, but it's a legitimate thing. Some people might not think of this idea. It's not a hard idea. It's the simplest thing ever. I'm sure many of you have thought of it, but I just thought it might be worth making a video in case some of you have ever had the urge to take one of these awesome weird book covers in public. Of course, one foolproof way of not embarrassing yourself in public with these books. Again, not that it is embarrassing, you will not embarrass yourself anyways unless there are some rude people who actually say what they think when it's mean. But other than that, you're fine. But what I usually do, like other than these two occasions, I usually just read them on my Kindle. It works in every situation, it's wonderful. No one knows what you're reading. You can read it wherever. You can read it at a kid's birthday party. You can read it in university. You can just read it wherever. You can read it in front of your mother. It's great, wonderful, yeah, everything. There's also another method, which would be, I guess, don't take the book out of your house, I guess. Especially if you live alone, that works fine. But sometimes you want to. Sometimes you're reading a really amazing, super awesome book and you just can't get away from it. Every spare moment you have, you want to read the book. Maybe it's this book. I haven't read this yet. I don't know if I will read it. I know this author is like Sarah McLean. She's a really good author. I've read some of her other historical romances and they're awesome, but I don't know. The plot of this does not exactly seem like my thing. I like my historical romance girls feisty, but like decorous. Is that a word? I don't know. She posed for a nude portrait or something, and now she needs to find a husband, which is what the love interest is helping her with. I tend to like my heroines sane and with just a bit of common sense, so I'm not 100% sure if she will grab me in, but I do trust the author, so if I am in a Scottish mood, I will go for this. The original reason I actually checked out these two books is because I was in a very cowboy romance mood, but I have, like, no one has recommended me a good cowboy romance. There is one, and I have to check that out eventually, but I'm not 100% sure if it'll be my thing. I hope it will be, but I'm sure there are some on my TBR, but I'm kind of too lazy to look through the thousands of books on there right now. I just want to be blown away by the chivalry and the awesomeness and the protectiveness and just the Western atmosphere. That's what I was craving. All I got was Scots, and it didn't do it for me. So if you do have a cowboy recommendation, please comment below. I will be ever so grateful. But anyways, let's just get into the actual thing that I promised you. How to read an NSFW book in public. All you will need for this is 1 pack of sticky notes and a book with a not safe for work cover. That's it. So in the interest of saving as much paper as possible, take one, stick it like this, cover up the heroine's bare shoulders. I don't know. What was she covering up? Oh, okay. Lots of bare skin. Then you take another sticky note. This book is small. That's a good thing. Like, a lot of these are just like tiny paperbacks. As long as you have like big sticky notes, it'll take like 2 or 3. Next, you cover up the title because you can get a lot from the title, and voila! You can take this thing out in public. If you're even more self-conscious, you can cover up the entire cover. If there's something that might like go up like this, you can always tape it down. The book will not be damaged, especially if it's a library book, because they're all laminated and stuff. There's always like an embarrassing thing at the side, but they covered it up here. So like that's perfect. But yeah, you can cover that up if you want. That might take some scissors as well, but it works perfectly. If you're really self-conscious, you can also cover up the back, but I really doubt that anyone's going to take the time to read this while you are reading your book, so probably not necessary. And there you go. 2 sticky notes and tape. I would definitely tape the bottom because this is liable to go up at any time. But you can read this in public. Sure, people will be wondering what you're hiding under there, but they won't know what. So it solves your problems. I find it super helpful because you're just reading. People look at this and they don't know anything. Like, they're not gonna take the time and look at the word, oh look, there's the word bosom. No, nobody knows. It's great. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's really helpful if you weren't aware of it, haven't thought of it before, and now you're probably like banging your head like, oh my gosh, this is so obvious. Why didn't I do this before? If that's you, I'm genuinely happy that I solved your problem if this was a problem for you. I hope that helped you, and yeah, that's basically all there is to it.